Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are playing with Natasha Denona makeup. I'm gonna do a full face with her makeup except for maybe my eyebrows and the mascara and eye color, but otherwise everything is Natasha Denona. So if you want to see what I've used today and what are my thoughts on these products that I had for a while for most of them, and some others are a bit new, keep on watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can also follow me on Instagram. Click the little bell right here so you don't miss out on any new uploads. And with no further ado, let's get started. Alright, so we're gonna start with the face. So I put cream, maybe an hour ago I put my serum, my cream, and then let it sink a bit because with that first product I'm going to use, I find it can get really glowy, almost greasy if I apply it straight on my skincare. So I'm gonna use the Face Glow foundation and I bought the shade 42 and it's been a while since I've used that one. It gives it that very nice, like, natural look to the skin, but very glowy, very healthy. Just turn the table a bit more, and if I want to, I can turn on my ring light, but right now, all of a sudden, the light is better. How great. I was saying, so this is very nice if you have dry skin. I'm not sure you're gonna like that if you have oily skin. And already right now, like, I didn't apply right beforehand my skincare. I let it sink in and hydrate my skin just because this is very, very hydrating / greasy. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more in the areas where I like to have a bit more coverage. Alright, so very natural, glowy finish. I'm gonna zoom in quickly. This is how the skin looks like. So you can still see my hyperpigmentation, little freckles, a tiny bit of redness. But overall, for an everyday, look, everyday use, I really like it. I think it's pretty. It kind of brings a bit of evenness, a bit of warmth. Something I'm gonna use today for the video only because I think I'm gonna return that little guy. The Transfix Matte Concealer. First of all, I bought it like last week and I don't know if you can tell, but look at that. It looks like it's kind of separated. First of all, you don't want to forget to wet your mini sponge. If you're using a mini sponge, apply it and go wet it and come back, because when I did that, by the time I wet the sponge and sat here again, it was dry, like it dried, and it was so hard to blend. I recommend, if you're using a little sponge like this one, like this is a Real Techniques one, wet it ahead of time. For me, it looks too dry under the eyes. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a tiny bit of my Kiehl's Creamy Eye Treatment with avocado. I'm gonna try to bring an extra moisture under the eyes. Let me know if you have that concealer, what you think of it. Maybe it works great for oily skin, but for my dry skin, dry to normal skin, oof. But I'm gonna do one side first and then the other side. I bought the shade 6NY. This is a full coverage concealer. I'm gonna blend right away. Look how brightening it is, it's crazy. The only problem is, within the day, it starts to look really, really dry under my eyes. Which is too bad because look at that coverage. Looks like two different faces here. So yeah, if you blend it right away and you put a little bit of cream right before, this looks really good. Look at that. If you want a full coverage concealer, this is great. I'm gonna use too much. Look at that, a little goes a long way. I think I put too much. Yeah, bye bye dark circles, that's for sure. I did not even use my corrector. Usually I use my Tarte CC corrector. Whatever is left on my sponge, I'm just gonna apply it right there, a little bit in the center of my forehead. I don't wanna apply more directly because I don't want it to look cakey on my forehead. I'm just gonna apply a dot the center of my nose just to sculpt a tiny bit. I like to change my mind on that concealer, but so far I was like, not for me. So I'm not gonna set with powder because we're gonna use a lot of cream products today. So the next thing I want to talk about today, the Sculpt and Glow palette. And this one is the light medium version. Look at that, how like reflective it is. Super beautiful packaging. It has a huge mirror inside, and then you get the cream products on the top. So you have something to brighten, you have a contour shade, a glow shade, and then you have the powder to set, a contouring powder, and then a highlighting powder. I'm gonna use most of everything here. I might use the tan palette a tiny bit, so we'll see for the glow. But overall, I love this shade, the contour shade, the cream contour. I love this one too as well. This glow cream, I believe, could be a bit more glowy. I'm used to something a bit more wet looking. The setting powder is very, very nice. It looks very, it has kind of a blurring effect. So it's interesting. This one, it's okay. I like it, but well, I'm not like transcended by it, but it's good. And this one is very lovely actually. First of, like, you have a feeling it doesn't bring a lot of shine to your cheeks, but it's actually the right amount, like for an everyday look. Anyway, I'm gonna start contouring. I like to use my Real Techniques sculpting brush. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick up a bit of the contour cream shade, and I'm gonna start to sculpt. And this is blending really easily. I really like that shade. It's almost like a bronzing shade. You can use it as a bronzer as well. A bit here. And I got this face palette during the Sephora, you know, those spring sales, those little sales you have like every week. It's changing, and I got it like half off, so I was really happy because I always wanted to buy this, but I was like, oh geez, it's a lot of money. But see how it warms up the skin beautifully, and it's like it's blending really, really well. A little bit under, just to sculpt a tiny bit. I have to say it's blending like a dream on top of this foundation. Really, really nicely. On top of a matte foundation, I'm not so sure. Okay, I'm just gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna contour a tiny bit the nose. So I'm gonna go under. I always do that, if you know, if you've been on my channel for a while now. And then on the side, a tiny bit. I don't do the sides very often. My nose is not very even. Like that. I'm not gonna do something too strong, and then I like to break a little bit here, and I'm taking my little sponge, blending. Now I'm gonna go with my pinky in the highlighting cream, the light one. I'm gonna go in the center. I don't really need to, that concealer is full coverage, but I'm just gonna brighten my eyelids just to have a nice even base. I'm just gonna do it just to show you, but it's very brightening. You could almost use that as a concealer. And a bit in the center here, just so look not so crazy. Now I'm gonna use the setting powder, and we're gonna use this one, the Japanese pressed powder. Set under the eyes with it. I'm not gonna touch here too much. Okay, my camera stopped quickly, so I just did my eyebrows very quickly with my MAC Shape and Shade Brow Tint in the shade Taupe. I love that thing. It's so nice, so quick and easy. So I've been setting with a Japanese pressed powder a little bit the forehead, under my eyes, my eyelids a tiny bit, right here. I don't touch too much here because I want to keep the glow. So wherever you feel like you want to control the shine, you go over top. It's a very nice powder. On top of that, I'm gonna go with the contour sculpting powder, just a tiny bit. I started, to be honest. I just go very lightly. I don't want to be too intense, you know. I want to be natural, like Scott Barn would say. Snatched but natural. Can you believe it's in the dictionary now? That's hilarious. And then a tiny bit under my nose, and whatever is left on top, but not too much. For the glow, it's okay, it's nice. I'm gonna use it a tiny bit so you can see, but I find now in the market, like, I have like better products for that, but it's nice. Just apply it with my sponge a tiny bit. It goes well onto powder, it doesn't move the powder or the foundation, so that's nice. But it's nothing like wet looking. I'm gonna use a tiny bit here. And here. And I can do a tiny bit of what I like to do. Last time I did that, I went a bit ham, so I have to be careful. I like to go under the lip with the cream contour, and on top. It's like you almost like you overline your lips with it. And it makes it look way more pouty. And then I'm gonna use a bit of that powder too. It's a very nice, so the all over glow shimmer powder is very nice. It's subtle. It's not too metallic, which I appreciate. Whatever is left on my brush. And then with my finger, I'm just gonna go right here. Oop. Let's go in the corner with it. Okay, so that is it for the Sculpt and Glow palette. Overall, I think it's a very good palette. I'm glad I got it on sale. I'm gonna go quickly with the tan palette. I did a video dedicated to that little guy here, where I created a nice look with it. I played with it for the first time. I will link it right here or at the end of this video. So in this you have, it's more like a bronzy palette. To be honest, I don't find it super friendly with very fair pale skin, but otherwise it's very pretty. So I'm gonna use a bit of the Glow Cream Base. On days I don't want to wear too much, I just wear that on top of just a bit of a concealed face. I don't put foundation all over, I just put that, and it acts as like a very nice cream bronzer, very natural. So you don't need necessarily to put the 4 products on your cheeks to get a nice bronzed look. Here, is it better with my lights on? Maybe it is. I'm gonna put it like very low. So the sky is very gray. Might be summer, but it doesn't look like it, and it doesn't feel like it's cold outside. Okay, so just a tiny bit of that. I'm gonna put that a bit on the forehead as well. And whatever is left on the sponge right here and here. And I really like this by itself. It's lovely. Now we're gonna play with the big sister that came out a bit sooner. That's the Bloom Blush and Glow palette. I have a video as well for this one. I'm not gonna use all of it today. I'm just gonna play with the Glow color, which is a cream, very lightly, because these are very pigmented. This one is very pretty too, but it's more when I want to create like a fresh look, you know, not necessarily like bronzed look. When I want to create a fresh look, I will go to the darker one, and it's lovely. It's very nice on the lips too. but this is like the perfect amount of peachiness, you know, with a bit of glow. You know what, I'm gonna use a tiny bit of that little guy here for a highlighter from the tan palette. Not too much because it's quite intense. So that's how the face looks like. It's very nice. It's glowy, bronzy, slightly contoured, but very, you know, gently. For eyeshadow palette, well, I could have played with a lot of other palettes, but a lot of you asked me to create another look with the Sunrise palette. And I'm gonna create something more in the bronzy shades for today. So we're gonna stick to that area of the palette. And for this, I'm gonna start with the shade Morning. And I'm gonna do something quickly. Just make sure that I have no crease here, and then now I'm gonna go to the shade Agata, same brush. I'm gonna place it in the inner third of my eyelid. And then I'm gonna take my finger and I'm gonna go to Dayspring. Nice bronzy shade, and it is pigmented if you go with your finger and not over top like matte shadows. Look at that. Yes, it is pigmented. See that? So good. Let's turn that off for now. Just because I have a feeling you could see better the texture of it. I'm gonna go with Morning under my lower lash line and Dayspring again, and metallic shade mostly in the center. Okay, and then with a fluffy brush, the other side of that brush actually, which is Farah brush, I'm just gonna blend this in the crease a bit more. Super pretty, and that's all I'm gonna do today with this palette. I have a video 4 looks for one palette for the Sunrise palette. I will link it right here once again, or at the end of this video. Actually, before I put on mascara, I'm gonna use the Chroma Crystal Taupe Coat in the shade Bronze, just to hide a tiny bit of sparkles. It's already really pretty like that, but just want to use that little thing because I don't use it very often. And I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see. This is how it looks like. It's very pretty because it's very subtle, but it really finishes an eye look. Now, I'm gonna put mascara on. Alright, and the last step, the lips. So I bought that. That's new to me. That's the lip glaze, and I bought the shade Wooden Rose number 16. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty color. They had something a bit lighter, but I think it was too nude. So let's try that one. Here's a doe foot applicator, and let's see. Very pretty color. Feels nice on the lips. It doesn't feel sticky at all. And I really like the color. For me, that's the kind of nude I like to wear. Not sure it will last really long if you have a drink or something, but it's like that for most of like the glossy lip products. So, but that's it for this video. This is the final look, and I love that look. That's something I can wear every day. Like a nice glowy bronzed skin. I think it's nice for summer, and to be honest, it's nice for any time of the year. I like that. It's easy to do. It doesn't take too much time. I like cream products mostly because it looks more natural on the skin and more glowy. If you want to achieve like a glowy glass look, creams are the way to go. Our palettes are really good. Like, I really enjoy this guy. Actually, since I got it, I've played a lot with it. The tan palette, I really enjoy it, and once again, I adore that shade in particular. This is very pretty too, but since like we play more with creams today, I didn't want to mix too much of the powders. I use a tiny bit of powder, but not too much. The Bloom palette is lovely as well. you can achieve like different kind of looks with this palette too. So today we just used this one. This one once again will be really pretty. You know, mostly I like to use it in winter when I'm pale and I want that kind of like flushed look. This is lovely, very pigmented. And then this is very pretty too. You can use it on your eyes as well. For the Sunrise palette, I think it's a very lovely palette. I like the format. I like that it's smaller, that it's more affordable. Now, if you're a bit shy with colors, because this is a quite colorful palette, if you're a bit shy, I will go with the Biba palette or the gold palette. It's more like neutral gold undertones, a bit more of a brown colors and shades. Here you can see that I could achieve something very easy to wear. It just depends, but I really like the format. I hope she will come up with more of this, more affordable palettes, because it would be hard to hit pan already on this format. So yes, and then, well, the foundation is very nice once again, but I like the coverage. I think it's a natural light to medium coverage, and for everyday, very, very pretty, especially if you live in a dry climate. The concealer, sure, at the beginning it looks amazing, like it's full coverage and very opaque. You have to work really fast with it. Once again, I repeat myself maybe, but don't place it on both sides and then blend. Just my recommendation is to use it on one side, blend it with your sponge, and don't wait too long. It is full coverage, it is matte, it looks good right now. For now it looks okay. I'm not a 20-year-old baby. I'm 30 years old. It's not, I know it's not that old, but I have little lines now under the eyes, and unfortunately, like, concealer doesn't look as great as like a model on like who's like 18 years old, to be honest. I will try to do a little check-in for you to see how it worked this time with like the Kiehl's cream right before, and we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, all the rest I've been really enjoying. I like her eyeshadow palettes, and her face palettes overall are really good. That's it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. There's a little bell right here. Click on it so you don't miss out when I upload a new video. And that is all, my friends. Take care, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.